So it's March Wine Club, and the white wine this month is our Amphora Viognier. So this is a 2023 that we aged in our Drunk Turtle Amphora. It's made in Italy, and it's made out of a material the Italians call cacio pesto, which is essentially a form of terracotta. This material is fantastic because it's porous, similar in the way that wood is, but you don't get any of those oaky components in your wine. This is different than our Chelan Viognier, which is done in stainless steel. You know, stainless steel doesn't breathe, and it's great for retaining aromatics, but wines held in stainless steel don't really mature in the same way as if they're in a barrel, or in this case, an amphora. The Amphora Viognier was picked when it was riper. It was at like 25 brix, which is quite high for a white wine. This is typical for Viognier. It can get quite ripe, and with that comes more body and more structure. And so this is a more serious kind of floral, mineral-driven wine, whereas our Chelan Viognier is definitely like light, fruity, and fun. Yeah, next up in our March allotment, we've got our 2022 Pinot Noir. And so this is an estate-grown wine. Pinot is a nice, delicate kind of red wine. It's like usually lighter bodied. It's not as light as our Gamay Noir. It's got a little more structure to it, but this was fermented actually whole cluster, which is similar to our Gamay. This means that we actually don't destem the grapes. We pick the grapes, you know, in the vineyard just on their bunches, and from there, we load them straight into this oak foeder. This is our Noir 5-ton oak foeder, and we use this just for fermentation. So the Pinot grapes go straight in here, still on their bunches, and it undergoes native fermentation. And what I mean by native fermentation is we don't add any yeast, no cultivated yeast into this fermentation vessel. It's just the yeast that comes in with the grapes out of our estate vineyard, and we let fermentation kick off naturally. So yeah, it spends about 16 days in this vessel before we press it, and during those 16 days, we actually do what's called a pump over. And so this is as opposed to what some call a punch down, where the cap is actually pushed down with a metal implement. We actually pump the juice out of the bottom valve over here. We have a must pump that pumps it out, and then it goes up and over the top. I learned to make Pinot largely from my mom. She always used to say the Pinot remembers what you do to it. So we've really got to be as gentle as possible. We listen to Bach the whole time we're dealing with Pinot as to not offend it. Really try and respect that kind of delicate and nuanced nature that we love in Pinot Noir. We're definitely trending, I feel like, here at Hardwood Aho towards lighter bodied reds. A red wine like this Pinot that is delicate but not like lacking in intensity, just a more nuanced sort of profile. I love the smell of this. It's so earthy. Like, you get a ton of that like classic like underbrush, or like definitely like mushroom sort of aromatics, but definitely like dried cranberries as well. Yeah, it's just so nice. And the palate, like some more like earthy notes, like maybe cedar and tangerine. I mean, it's just such a lovely and complex Pinot Noir. So the third wine in the March Wine Club is going to be the 2021 Estate Malbec. This was aged in about 50% new French oak, and it's just got these beautiful aromatics, like a lot of floral notes from the Malbec, like maybe like, I don't know, violets or hibiscus, and then kind of these like cocoa or vanilla notes from that French oak. But it's just like such a dark and intense wine. You can see it's much darker than the Pinot Noir, and just tons of like dark fruit on the palate, like maybe blackberry or plum, you know, smooth tannin structure, just lingers on your palate. Really nice. This would be great with any red meat. You know, if you're doing any prime rib or any, barbecue beef, this would be fantastic. This is a limited production. We only bottled about 100 cases of this, so this will probably, basically go out to the wine club and then be done. So if you want extra bottles of this, make sure that you order extra with your wine club shipment. All estate grown right here in Manson, Washington, right out of our own vineyard. It's a fantastic wine, and I hope you all will love it.